everybody, and welcome to our top 10 comic quick picks for the week of June 26, 2023. I'm Jason,
I'm Andy.
and we're with Infinity Flux Comics out of Chattanooga, Tennessee. So, this is a show where Andy and we have picked each of us five comics that we think most people want to hear about, or five that we really enjoyed.
Mhm.
We're going to go through them really fast. We do a longer show after this where we go over all the comics at length, but let's do this one right now. So, big week, a lot of comics out. Andy, what's our first pick of this
First
week?
up is Green Arrow #3. I'm really enjoying this new series from Joshua Williamson. And in this one, we saw in the last one that Ollie and Liam got shot somewhere else. They're kind of on this bouncing around journey through space and time. You'll have to check out where they ended up in this one. But we do learn more about why that this is going on and why the Green Arrow family can never be in the same place at one time. So great issue of Green Arrow this week.
All right, my first pick for the week is Thor issue number 35. This is actually the last issue of this series, which goes further into the origin of Hela, who we have on the cover right here. And look at that, she's got that gauntlet we all know from the Black Winter
Hmm.
storyline, if you've been reading Thor from back when Donny Cates was doing it. Again, this is the last issue. Everyone shows up in this one: Odin, Loki, Jane Foster, the other Valkyries, just a wide cast of characters. And this kind of ends the story run. Next up will be Immortal Thor coming out of this one. You get to see the cover of it by the end of this issue.
Next up, I have Star Wars Dr. Aphra #33. So since the last issue was kind of a soft relaunch, it kind of pared down the characters to just Aphra, Luke, and R2 going on an adventure. This one is really great. It gave me kind of some horror vibes as they are investigating a Jedi temple that may actually be a prison for a thing called the Star Weird. So maybe first appearance or first cameo of a new force being called the Star Weird, and it looks like it is going to get really weird from here.
All right, next pick. It is Batman Brave and the Bold issue number 2. This is an anthology book, so it continues three of the stories from the last issue, one new story. And my favorite, though, has to be the one Tom King's doing with Mitch Gerads, which is the first fight between Batman and the Joker. So you get to see some of that in here, but you get to see the Joker doing some real sick stuff, like juggling somebody's eyeballs that he's murdered. I mean, they paint a very psychotic Joker in this. The other stories are awesome as well. So it's got to be my next pick.
My next one is World Tree #3. This also continues to be really interesting as the kind of layers of what this is about unfold. In this one, we learn more about the Undernet. And not only like we've heard it talked about in this, that it kind of corrupts people, but like really, what is it? What is lurking in the Undernet? We see a glimpse of what someone sees when they look into it in this, and it continues to be horrifying.
All right, our sixth pick. It is the oddly pedestrian life of Christopher Chaos, a new series from Dark Horse Comics. This one was the idea, the conception of it's James Tynion, but it is actually written by Tate Bromble. Um, I really enjoyed this quite a bit. It's about a kid who is sort of a mad scientist. He's in high school. He thinks kind of different than everyone. His brain just works differently as a mad scientist would. And this brings him a lot of power, but at the same time, it leaves him very lonely. So it's a very personal story as well. Well, his world gets shocked because it's not just science. There's also sort of a horror side to the world that he stumbles into.
Mm.
And that's where a lot of the plot's going to go. It's just a really well told first issue with some very good art. The art is done by Isaac Goodhart.
Next up, I've got Cityboy #2. I love the first issue of this. Really excited to see where this goes. In this one, we learn more about City Boy's past, what made him this kind of street urchin type character. But also, we learn about a little bit more about his powers. We see in the last one that he was kind of caught in the middle of an experiment going on. But why were they trying to get these powers of cities? You learn in this one, and it turns out it is a way bigger ordeal that may encompass the entire DC universe. So, another great issue of City Boy.
All right, eighth pick of the week. It is Carnage Reigns Omega. This is the finale of this huge plot line that Cody Ziegler has been setting up and doing for so long. This issue, you get to see Miles Morales in a new Iron Spider suit. teaming up with Tony Stark, who's in a new anti-symbiote suit, as them and a bunch of unlikely allies have to give everything they can to try to stop Carnage and how powerful he is now. So I had to bring this one on.
Mhm.
It's really cool to see a plot line go this far and to its final end and feel like it was all planned from the beginning.
Right. Next up, I've got Darth Vader Black, White, and Red #3. This is a fun issue. It's got 3 stories in it. It's the penultimate issue, so we get the story before the last from Jason Aaron's story he's telling. But the one I want to note is there's a Daniel Warren Johnson story in here. If you follow him on social media and stuff, he loves drawing Star Wars scenes. He's drawn like the trench run. He's drawn all of that. This time he gets to do a story written, drawn, lettered by him, and is fantastic. And it'll make you excited for his upcoming Transformers series when you see what the kind of stuff he can pull off.
All right, last pick of the week. It is Bryn Moore #1. This is the new one from Steve Niles with art by Damian Worm. That's your team from October Faction. So if you like your comics dark and brooding, this is for you. It is about a man who's gone through a terrible divorce and through alcoholism, he returns home to his native land, his native island. He's trying to build a home out of an old creepy church. You know he's going to discover some dark secrets that relate to his past and his homeland. That is what happens or begins to happen in this issue, with the art really kind of stealing the show. You
Mm,
know, a lot of good setup, but the art really takes kind of precedent over
mhm.
everything. All right, so that is our top 10 quick picks for this week. After this, we're going to do our longer show. We're going to go over 20 of the comics that are releasing this week. We're going to also talk about all of their variants. We're going to show off all the variants, some of the incentives. So if this show is just not enough for you, tune into our longer one coming up next. And bear in mind, you can purchase these comics and any others right now from our website, infinityflux.net. So thank you very much, and we will see you next time.